Hello, this is a full video on Background Designer. This is version 1.04, and in this beta version we've got a few extra features down here. So there's the layer editing, so you can now click a few shapes down in the chosen layer and you can cut those out. This will begin to flash to show you there's been some cut made, and you can then paste in a different layer. You can also copy and paste, double those layers up, and you can edit colors within a layer by clicking preview, and we're now going to get different colors in this layer. Let me just fade this one out by right clicking so we can see some of those new colors down here. So we could get a mix between these two. Okay, so if you're happy with the colors you've made for that particular layer, you can click bake and that will commit those colors. So there's the brush grabber here for grabbing new brushes, and that is based on every visible layer. You type in a new name for the brush. I'm just going to clear everything, and there's our 4 clouds here. If you no longer want one of these brushes, you just right click and you can clear it. You can also clear any custom brushes by going up to edit and clear custom files, and this will ask yes or no. If you're sure, you have to actually type it because it's going to clear out any brushes that you've custom loaded. There is 8 sets of brushes. A few of these will change and be improved. There's also some reserved brushes for me to add more, as well as set 8 being reserved for any custom packs that I would sell for around about $1 or $2 of 24 brushes, so they could be loaded in by appending your brush sort list file. Just now you'd have to do that manually, but that's going to be something that I could work on. And you've got 4 user sections to load your own ones. So yeah, as you can see, the box goes green, which means if you left click here, you can find your own images to load. For example, this one, which is based off a 3D model. Speaking of 3D, if you switch to 3D distort mode, it gives you this pattern to begin with, and you can tilt it, change the field of view. You can also rotate it with E and R keys. If you want a full help file about the keys and stuff, let's go up to help panel. This tells you what the keys do. So we've got E and R doing rotate. There's also page up and page down, which rotates at 45 degrees. I've recently added that. Scaling and other things. So you're not limited to this image. As soon as you click on a brush, it now switches to that. So you can change this however you like. Give it loads of tile. Be sure to scale it out so it fits in the screen however you want this to look. Okay, and I recommend keeping the base tones. You can swap these up for whatever you like, but if you keep the tones that the brush was made with, it means you can fully customize it later. Okay, there might be a little bit of pixel stretching in this mode as well, but once you're happy with that, you can click Capture 3D. That sends the brush to this temporary one, and you have to plot it down once again and then physically capture it so that it now knows that you want to keep it. So I'll call it distorted. Okay. And now that I've got that, I can undo the capture brush and we're back. So if I want to change the look of this gate, I can put it down first, and if I come over here and change stuff, nothing happens to that, only happens to the next brush. But if I press Control or hold Control, it's going to update. And I can right click to recall any of these, press Control, let's bring it to full new color. So as I hold Control, these are going to update. And there we go, I've got an interesting shape that I could use. You can make whatever you want this way. So for example, I'll just clear everything. I could go to the 3D distort mode, choose a different kind of brush. For example, this circle. So I've now turned this circle into an ellipse. So there it is normally, and I can make it really flat. I can make my own shape here. I'll just leave this on original color just so that I can change it later, but just click Capture 3D, plot it down, capture it at the size that I want. I call this ellipse. So unless you do that, it's not going to save these. Okay, so we have to make sure you plot the Capture 3D down, and now you've got the actual brush. And if I escape out of this, be sure not to crash out of it, but if you properly quit the software through escape, then what happens is it saves your brushes. In my case, it saves them in here. It saves them with the name that I've given them, and it creates this list with some reference of the category and the identification number. So category ID. So basically category 8 is the same as user 1, and if you want to overwrite any of the other sets, you can change this category down to free up your user category. So for example, if I save these as category 7, just by changing them manually here, I can free up some of those slots again. So I'll go back in. Now if I go into set 8, you can see I've moved the gate, the distorted gate, and the ellipse all to this section, to set 8, which I knew was kind of reserved anyway, and I've now freed up the whole user set. So you can kind of hack in your own brushes this way that you want to stay there, and then always allow yourself for more. So there's plenty of room. There's 24 brushes in each of these, so 24 times 5 is basically what, 120 different brushes that you could have load in, and you don't even have to load them in this way if you understand how this works. As soon as you bring in a file, so if I was to go to my desktop and find something like let's just grab this guy. I'm going to copy it, paste it into here. I just want to take a note of the name without the PNG part. Go into this file, say the name of the file without the PNG part, do colon, and I'll just do 7,3, so I know it's going to be the next one in that list. Save it, and I have to restart. This. Now, another thing to be mindful of is if you've got this running and you escape out, it already automatically updates this file. So I'm just going to leave it open. Right, I'm going to quit out of this. Oops, okay, I quit out the whole thing. Let me just boost that back up again. And now that I've got this here, let's just do that right. It should be like that. Okay, so it's a colon and a semicolon. I'm going to save that now. And I'm using GameMaker to make this tool. Great software for games and tools. Okay, so now that I've put that image in here, I didn't have to load it within the background designer, so let's let that load up. And if I go to set 8, you can see, oh, it's not there yet. I think it's because it's open. It doesn't like the file to be open. Doesn't read it for some reason, so I'm just going to close that now. And I'll just stop the software from here so it doesn't update that file automatically, which it does when you escape. So let's just see. Yeah, still not loaded. Interesting. Let's try that again. Let's have a look at that. Oh, I've added a letter here that doesn't make any sense. So let's just see if it will load that anyway. Let's escape out of that. Back into this. And as you can see, it's got rid of it because I had it closed. And I'll just try that again. So we all make mistakes, right? See, I did an L again. There we go. Okay, so that's now updated. And now if I run software, and jump to set 8, you can see that image is now there. This is an image that I created using a software called MicDraw. I recommend it if you want to do some old school art. And I can see how this looks with different colours, almost like a Game Boy. So you do have pixel modes in this as well, so you can pixel mode a pixelized image and go even more pixels. You've got these different images as well that it can use, and change the range. Interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to use Control Backspace to clear. It's also up here you can reset. Oh, okay, found a bug. But that'll do it for this video, and I'll catch you in the next stream. Cheers for watching. Bye.